Since the introduction of Citizenship by Investment program by the Turkish government, a lot of international immigrants are seen to have taken advantage of this offer. Pakistanis are among the top 6 countries in the world. As seen with the rise in demand, black elements also jump in to take their bite in unfair manners. As per an estimate, in the last 2 years, almost 17 to 23% of Pakistani immigrants have become victims of falling prey to the hands of these scammers. This resulted in losing their money, status, or both, thus people losing their confidence in investment in Turkey, or being undecisive about what to do, how to go ahead, and which developer, agency, or consultant to hire, to get their Turkish residence or citizenship process done, in an efficient, transparent and ethical manner. At Turkiye Consultants, take it as our social responsibility, to guide the prospective immigrants about these processes, irrespective of their association with our company or not. Although it is mainly focused on Pakistani clients, it equally addresses international immigrants' concerns. The next few minutes of yours, watching this little presentation should save you from becoming the next victim of the Turkish investment program, which is one of the most lucrative programs in the world, for those who are seeking Turkey as their second home. Two most common elements of the Turkish government's Citizenship by Investment program are, either by depositing a fixed amount, which is currently $500,000 in any Turkish bank for a specific period, or buying a property in Turkey, which is not valued at less than $400,000, and in return, the investor, along with their spouse and under 18 years of dependent children are eligible for Turkish passport. As investment in a bank is fairly a transparent process, as long as all transaction is directly between you and the bank without involving any third person in between, we will not emphasize much on that here. Just remember that in this case, you may have to hire the services of a consultant and a lawyer to help you walk through your process, but under no circumstances, either of them will be part of handling your investment funds. That should remain between you and your bank. However, the next most common way to acquire citizenship or permanent or temporary residence, requiring you to buy property in Turkey, is something which needs to be really focused on here, as it has various points where you can either sail away smooth or get trapped by some scammer or conman.
Before going ahead with the permanent residence or citizenship program, all we need from your side are 3 things to really focus on every single step of this process, entirely for your own benefit. 1. Avoid shortcuts. 2. Do not try to cut corners, and do not let your greed take over your common sense. When deciding to buy a property in Turkey, you have 3 options to select a selling source. Either directly from the developer, from an estate agency, or from an individual. Let's look into this one by one. When buying from a developer, or an estate agency, which are less riskier, and therefore most preferable ways, you must understand that construction companies or estate agencies in Turkey tend to get quite smart and outplay foreigners, especially if they realize that investors are not familiar with Turkish regulations and laws, so don't be fooled by a sleek office or a smart salesperson. You should locate the companies with an actual foot in the Turkish market, means construction or investment of their own. Only work with well-established, licensed, and professional developers. When deciding which developer or agency to work with, prefer one with at least 8 to 10 years or more experience in the Turkish market. Also check the license of an individual salesman dealing with you on behalf of the developer or agency. Check the reputation of developers by visiting and closely inspecting their existing and previous projects for on-time delivery, quality of work on the previous and ongoing projects, and available funds for ongoing projects, especially if a company seems to be new in the market or doubts arise about their abandoned projects now being offered on lucrative price or promises. When you intend to buy from an individual, first, our advice is to try to avoid buying from an individual seller, as well as through an independent consultant, because even licensed individual agents who are new in the market either have no clue about the real estate market in Turkey or do not have their own investments. An independent agent or a consultant working with you on a lesser commission will likely con you by either mutually agreeing with the property owner, overpricing the property and splitting the share among themselves, charging you over and above the prescribed government fees, or charging you for hidden fees or expenses which are not prescribed anywhere, and being unfamiliar with Turkish laws, regulations, and Turkish language, you cannot verify or cross-check. Remember, if a bargain looks too good to be true, most probably it is not true.
After you have visually inspected the property and decided to buy it, before making any payment or committing it on documents, please ensure that construction is not outside the legal zones. Construction is in accordance with local and government construction codes. Land on which the property has been built is eligible for construction. Construction is as per Turkish law, and there is no dispute on the property. If buying property from an independent seller, do not take their word for it and go through the checklist. No matter which source you select to buy a property in Turkey, here are important points common in all cases. 1. Avoid investing in bad projects, which have been polished up by the construction companies. Second, when you have selected a property after visual inspection, please do not pay the entire amount of property until you have thoroughly inspected the property, carried out your detailed checks, verified the documents, and signed the contract. Remember, no property is a bargain of life and worth paying all amounts at once. Ensure to make all transactions through your own bank account and by checks. When deciding to buy properties in rural areas, which are usually built on agricultural land, remember, illegal village housing is the most prevalent illegal construction in Turkey, so please ensure to look into important aspects, like, if the said property belongs to the villagers which have been only allowed the construction under local retrospective habitation license, which is otherwise not recognized under the Turkish law. If it is so, remembers, a non-villager or a developer can construct on that land, but that will be illegal, therefore no matter how lucrative an offer you get, just do not go for it. Please remember, that there is no shortcut or cutting corners to government rules. If the Turkish government says citizenship on a minimum investment of $400,000, then there is no way you can deviate from this. Avoid scams like offering you citizenship on a lesser amount, guaranteed rental, cash payback or anything less than that. Lastly, always stay focused, and stay updated on Turkish laws. If you are not an expert in the Turkish market, hire someone who is an expert himself or who is partnered with some big, well-reputed, well-established name in the Turkish real estate market. During the process, you must make sure that your property has all the right documents. The first important one is tapu. This is the title deed of the property, which gives you a free hand of the property and without which your ownership cannot be proven. The second one is iskan. This is the habitation certificate of the property, which is issued after the construction, and which proves that construction has been according to the regulations, in accordance with both local and Turkish laws.
Read the documents very carefully. Pay due diligence when going through documents and checklists. Get these documents scrutinized and endorsed by a lawyer who will ensure that there is no legal dispute on the property. We will strongly suggest that when you decide to acquire Turkish citizenship by real estate investment, you must hire a consultant. Because, in a strange land, it is always better to hire a consultant who has partnered with local well-established, well-reputed developers or estate agencies, and can walk you through the whole process, being your eyes and ears. Please, do not avoid paying a small percentage of your deal as commission. Unless you are a seasoned investor in the Turkish market, you are exposing yourself to all kinds of risks. When you decide to buy a property directly from the developer, you must know that the biggest risk when directly buying from the developer is the project not finishing in time. This can be either due to financial constraints or legal disputes, causing them to cease all their construction operations. As the words travel faster in the Turkish market, only an updated, well-established, or well-partnered consultant who regularly monitors the industry can guide you on such anomalies, the reputation of companies, and their projects. Also remember that by hiring a consultant, you are putting all your trust in that consultant, so please ensure that consultant has a foot in your home country, Pakistan, because then you can always backtrace and get hold of them, just in case. Along with a consultant, we equally and strongly recommend you also engage a licensed lawyer. Paying him about $400 or $500 is not a waste. It will ultimately ensure your case is processed in a legalized manner and provide you peace of mind without getting into some kind of scam. In the end, please remember that a consultant and lawyer are not substitutes for each other, as they both have their own expertise, sets of skills and responsibilities towards their clients. Remember this thumb rule: buy the right property, at the right price, by the right seller, through the right source.